Chapter 41. If you are still so domineering next time, I will slap you to death. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Made. For tonight's action, Shuangwen gritted his teeth and offered, 10 grand. I'll throw in another 10 and get the car on top of it. Man, this is bleeding money. He'd conned $300 million from his dad under the guise of a business deal, all just to score a Porsche Cayenne and impress this little streamer. And after she was done with him, she bounced, and he's still gonna lose the ride, an extra 10 grand on top of everything. That was a gut punch. Damn it, tonight, this chick is gonna make it worth my while. 100 grand? Wenqing raised an eyebrow. He'd already dropped more than 10 grand just popping a bottle of wine at dinner. He'd figured, listening to this clown brag, that he was some kind of big shot. Turns out, he's just a tool. Besides, there was no way Wenqing was giving up his Porsche. Cool as you like. Wenqing held up 3 fingers. Shuangwen went white. 30. Wenqing's voice boomed. No, 30 million. And at that price, you're lucky to get my car. Fight fire with fire, right? What the hell? Are you nuts? You're money hungry. Let me tell you, my father's Shuangwen. Shuangwen dropped the name, then added, don't think you're too good to take a deal. Wenqing didn't flinch. Deal? Get out of here. You're the one trying to buy my car. If you can't afford it, shut your mouth. My father's Shuangwen, and my family developed this whole area. Even this 4S store is renting from my company. Kid, you better apologize, or I'll call some people over and your skinny ass won't be able to handle it. Shuangwen scowled, trying to look tough. This community was built by Huafeng Real Estate. Shuangwen's dad owned 5% of Huafeng Real Estate, with Huafeng Real Estate worth a total of $800 billion, 5% equaled a cool $40 billion. Shuangwen definitely had the dough to throw around, and with one phone call, he could have a horde of construction workers descending on the place to stir up trouble. Why should he be scared of anything? Hey, maybe you shouldn't sell it, Wang Yanran said, a little worried. I've heard of Huafeng Real Estate. It's probably best not to mess with them. Huafeng Group had been in the news recently. With all the chatter about the new development, Wang Yanran had heard the name Huafeng Real Estate before. She didn't want her friend to get on the wrong side of these high-powered business types. The salesgirls in the 4S store were breaking out in a cold sweat for Wenqing too. They knew all too well how powerful the Huafeng Group was. Assets over $800 billion, a rock-solid network in the city. They were untouchable. This dude has really ticked Shuangwen off. Yeah, but Shuangwen is such a jerk. That guy's gonna get a beatdown from the construction crew, that the sales ladies murmured under their breath. Shuangwen. Why did that sound so familiar? Wenqing thought for a second. Wasn't Shuangwen a minority shareholder of Huafeng Real Estate? Because the system had given him 10% of Huafeng Real Estate, it also had a function that made the senior management of Huafeng Real Estate aware of Wenqing's shareholder status, and, of course, Wenqing knew all about them too. He looked at Shuangwen, posturing like a rooster. How did Shuangwen end up with a moron like that? Trying to bully him into selling? Wenqing took a step forward and slapped him twice, hard. Before Shuangwen could even react, Wenqing was already calling his dad, Shuangwen. Hey! Old Lu. It's Wenqing. You've really got a piece of work for a son there. He's trying to force me to sell him my car. At this rate, he'll own Huafeng Group in 2 years. As a business partner, I feel like I should set him straight for you, so don't take it personally. I'm handing the phone to him now. Boom. Shuangwen, clutching his face, felt like he'd been struck by lightning. He was too stunned to speak. What had he just heard? This punk knew his dad. And was calling him Old Lu. A cold wave washed over Shuangwen. He was screwed. Wait, hold on. How could this kid, this young, know his father? What was this about being a business partner? Bullshit. He was being played. Shuangwen smirked and answered the phone, nonchalantly. To prove to everyone that it wasn't his father on the other end, he hit the speakerphone. Arrogantly, Shuangwen sneered, "Hey! Whoever this is. Trying to be Lu Guoyang, huh? You got any idea how much trouble you're in? Who are you calling, fool? Shuangwen, your head's getting too big for your own good, ain't it? Don't you know when to back off?" The familiar voice of a middle-aged man blasted from the phone, and Shuangwen's knees instantly went weak. He stammered, "Dad," the phone exploded with an angry roar. "Don't you call me Dad. I don't deserve it. Do you have any idea what you've done today? I usually turn a blind eye to your antics, but you actually went after old Gu. Uncle Gu owns 10% of Huafeng Group and is a major player here. How can you disrespect him? Our whole family relies on him to make a living. You better apologize to Uncle Gu now." Boom, Shuangwen felt like his brain was about to short-circuit. What had his father just said? This guy owned 10% of Huafeng Group. What did that even mean? Huafeng Group was worth $800 billion, so this guy was worth $80 billion. That was twice what his family was worth. And he could feel his father's profound respect for Gu Wenqing. This guy's background was definitely insane. Compared to Gu Wenqing, his family was tiny. His family was just part of Huafeng Group, but this guy had ties not only to Huafeng Group but also to other powerful entities. Shuangwen, shaking, held the phone out to Gu Wenqing. He gave him a smile that was more like a grimace. "Uncle Gu, I'm so sorry. I didn't know who I was messing with. Please forgive me." Gu Wenqing nodded and said, in a teaching voice, "There's always someone better than you, somewhere. Don't be so cocky all the time. Stay humble. Next time I see you acting like this, I'll beat you for your father." Shuangwen nodded eagerly. "Yes, Uncle Gu." Lu Guoyang's voice came over the phone again. "Old Gu, Yang was completely out of line today. Next time you're back at the company, let's have a drink. I want to apologize in person." Hearing his father's tone, all the resentment Shuangwen felt vanished. Chapter 42 The Porsche Cayenne for you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shuangwen, who was all bluster a second ago, was now like a whipped puppy, nodding and bowing, totally owning up to his mistakes. Gu Wenqing waved him off. "Yang, just apologize to the saleswoman. You scared her." When Shuangwen heard Gu Wenqing call him Yang, his face turned green. If his buddies dared to call him that, he'd make them regret it, but because Gu Wenqing said it, he had to eat it. After all, Gu Wenqing and his dad were business partners. He mumbled, "I'm sorry" to the saleswoman. The salesmen at the Porsche dealership were floored. Mr. Lu, the arrogant king, actually apologized to a saleswoman. This young guy must be something else, to get Mr. Lu to admit he was wrong, take 2 slaps, and apologize. Plus, he's a shareholder in Huafeng Group, worth $80 billion. Talk about loaded. If he didn't already have a knockout girl beside him, they'd be fighting each other for his number. Who doesn't love a rich, young guy? I'm so jealous of the girl with him. 80 billion, how do you spend that much money? Does that mean his family's worth hundreds of billions, that they imagine the handsome young man in front of them, worth a cool 80 billion? Their knees felt weak just looking at Gu Wenqing with adoring eyes. Uncle Gu. Gu Wenqing frowned. Hold up. No, Uncle Gu. That makes me sound ancient. Call me Gu. Shuangwen was speechless. Gu Wenqing clapped him on the shoulder. Go home and play in the sandbox. Okay, bro. Away, my Porsche Cayenne, smack, star. Shuangwen slapped her hard. Are you brain dead? If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have ticked off Gu. Now you better put on a good show tonight, or you'll really be sorry. The little anchor started to cry. Back inside the Porsche dealership, Wang Yanran was still reeling. Her boy is a shareholder in Huafeng Real Estate. That's insane. If he's this powerful, how big are his folks? She looked up Huafeng Group on her phone. Her junior's shares are worth 80 billion, she felt a wave of inadequacy. Her boyfriend is so amazing, is she really good enough for him? She remembered a girl from her dorm whose boyfriend bought a villa in Huafeng real estate. The dorm was talking about it for months, so her boyfriend is a shareholder. They'd never believe it. Just then, Gu Wenqing patted her waist and motioned to go check out the car. Wang Yanran pushed all that aside and gazed at the Porsche Cayenne. It looked sleek and sporty, with clean lines and a powerful stance. The front was really imposing, the Cayenne's interior was top-notch, and the features were great, like heated steering wheel and comfy armrests. She also admired the panoramic sunroof. Wang Yanran loved it. She wondered when she'd ever get to drive such a sweet ride. She touched the gleaming paint of the Porsche Cayenne and said, "Honey, the red Ferrari totally suits you, but this red Porsche Cayenne looks nice, but it just doesn't feel like you. Maybe you should pick a different color," Gu Wenqing said, "because I'm not driving it." Wang Yanran got nervous, afraid she'd jumped to the wrong conclusion. "You mean?" "That's right. Exactly what you think. Babe, I love you so much, let me just say that." Wang Yanran started kissing Gu Wenqing like crazy. Then, she looked at the Porsche Cayenne in shock. She felt like she was dreaming. A second ago, she was dreaming of driving a Porsche, and now her junior was giving her one. Wang Yanran was ecstatic. Her man has a $30 million luxury car, which must mean she's really important to him. She felt so loved. The Porsche salesman stepped forward. "Sir, if you give me your ID, we'll take care of registration and insurance." Gu Wenqing said, "Put it in my girlfriend's name." "Honey, you can't," Gu Wenqing said softly, "just do it." "The car's yours, okay." Wang Yanran's eyes softened, filled with love for Gu Wenqing. He's her man for life. Like they say, a scholar will die for his friend, and a woman will do anything for love. After sorting out the car's paperwork, the two of them drove out of the dealership, each in their own car, two red luxury cars, like a couple set. Gu Wenqing called Wang Yanran. "Let's go to a movie." Wang Yanran, "Yes. I love movies." "Get in my car, then. I'll take you to a good place." Gu Wenqing punched in, Modu International Cinema, into the GPS. It was the high-end movie theater the system gifted him. The theater was located on the 5th and 6th floors of Lameo Commercial District, in Shanghai. It was the biggest 5-star luxury cinema with the most halls and seats, and one of the most luxurious in China. This cinema had 17 halls, including 14 standard theaters, a 600-seat super theater, and 2 VIP theaters, with a total seating capacity of about 3,500 and a floor area of 160,000 sq ft. He got 2 of these. It was around 7 o'clock or 8 p.m., the busiest time in the district. The Modu International Studios was packed. In the waiting hall, people bought tickets and waited for their movie. To start, the service at Modu International Studios was amazing. 2 receptionists greeted customers at the door, asking how they could help. They saw a couple walk up and greeted them, "Welcome." Then, they saw the boy's face. They were shocked and exclaimed, "Hello, Mr. Gu." Gu Wenqing nodded with a smile. You could tell this was a high-end theater. This inspection was way better than that Devon Western restaurant. Gu Wenqing realized the system was unbeatable. He had unscientifically gained ownership of the cinema, and all the employees remembered him as their boss. The system was truly awesome. Chapter 43. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey, boss. Good evening, Mr. Gu. As Gu Wenqing walked through, every employee in the studio greeted him. This caused a stir, with people in the waiting area craning their necks to get a look at him. So, this is the real deal, the owner of the fancy 5-star movie theater. Is he some middle-aged guy with a beer belly? Nope. First impression. This dude is young, for sure, still riding the high from his good deed. Gu Wenqing frowned and threw on his sunglasses. What with everyone staring, this instantly made a bunch of girls swoon. So hot. The way he raised his eyebrows. I'm already picking out baby names. Seriously, owning a huge movie theater at that age? Goals. I'd have his babies. Hold up, did you see the little wifey next to the boss? Damn, thought the guys were just as envious, not just of his money, but of the gorgeous woman on his arm. Wang Yanran's beauty was on another level, making every other girl in the theater look average. Once inside his studio, Gu Wenqing wasted no time. VIP hall, reserved. Whatever movie they wanted, they could have it, plus, all the special movie snacks, the works. Wang Yanran kept glancing at Gu Wenqing, eyes sparkling. Ever since she'd gotten with him, she knew what a real catch looked like. Everywhere they went, all eyes were on him, and people always wanted to impress him. Amazing. Being with her junior, she was experiencing a whole new level of luxury. VIP hall. A giant space, just for Gu Wenqing and Wang Yanran. A cheesy rom-com flickered on the huge screen. Wang Yanran seemed into it, gazing intently at the movie. Yeah, right. The movie was just a distraction. He was there for one thing. Gu Wenqing eyed Wang Yanran's killer figure, especially those long legs. A grin spread across his face as he pulled her close by the waist. Wang Yanran jumped at the sudden move, then saw his playful smile and playfully pouted. Gu Wenqing leaned in close to her ear, his breath on her neck, plus the whole movie theater vibe, all romance and anticipation. Wang Yanran shivered, going a little weak in the knees. The mood was building, and Gu Wenqing's hands started to wander south. The movie played on, oblivious. Wang Yanran covered her flushed face with her hands, her denim jacket slipping down a bit. Gu Wenqing wasn't about to stop this time. He knew her time of the month wasn't quite over yet, but there were other ways. Things were getting intense. About halfway through the movie, looking at Wang Yanran's flushed, wanting expression, she knew exactly what he meant. The movie was officially background noise. Back at the dorm, the other three roommates were already there. Summer meant mosquitoes, and when Qian was trying to light a mosquito coil but couldn't find a lighter, she'd just seen Wang Yanran's Porsche key, so she asked, "Yanran, let me borrow your lighter." She didn't actually think it was a real car key, just a fancy lighter. Those luxury car key lighters were all over TikTok. She saw those videos all the time. I don't have a lighter," Wang Yanran said, trying to sound innocent. "Yeah right, I saw it." When Qian grabbed the Porsche key off Wang Yanran's desk, poking around, trying to find the lighter switch, but came up empty. "Hey, Yanran, how does this thing work?" When Qian asked, exasperated, Wang Yanran's eyes widened. "Qian, would you believe me if I said it's actually a car key?" When Qian scoffed. "That's not funny." She was sure it was a lighter. When Qian knew Wang Yanran's family wasn't rolling in dough, a Porsche would cost at least 60 grand. There was no way Wang Yanran's parents could afford that, let alone buy one for her. Plus, she knew her best friend. Wang Yanran liked nice things, sure, but she was too independent to let some guy buy her a car. Wang Yanran led Wen Qian out to the balcony and hit the unlock button on the Porsche key. Down in the parking lot, the headlights of a red Porsche Cayenne flashed on, cutting through the darkness. Wen Qian stared down at the red Porsche Cayenne, one of her dream cars. Girls loved bigger cars, especially big SUVs, those made them feel safe, and Wen Qian was no exception. Her dream cars were a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, a Porsche Cayenne, and a Jeep Wrangler. Seeing one of her dream cars sitting right there, she felt a surge of envy for Wang Yanran, but then she got seriously worried. Her best friend hadn't gone astray, sold herself out, or gotten a sugar daddy, had she? Otherwise, how else could she afford a Porsche Cayenne? "Yanran," Wen Qian said sadly, "you didn't get taken care of by some rich dude, did you?" Wang Yanran puffed up like a scared cat. "What? You know that's not my style. I have standards for my future man. He's gotta have some money, yeah, but he also has to be cute, have a good personality, and be responsible." As she said it, she pictured Gu Wenqing perfectly. Wen Qian scoffed. "Then how did you get the Porsche Cayenne? That car starts at over 100 grand. No way you bought it yourself." Chapter 44. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Yanran, my classmate gave it to me. Gu Wenqing. Then give it back to him. My family's still using it. When Qian pressed, the car's registered in your name. Wang Yanran nodded, and when Qian couldn't help but feel a pang of envy. What a catch. In the bathroom, when Qian gazed at her own reflection, admiring her good looks and figure. She and Wang Yanran had different styles, but both had their own appeal. Meanwhile, back in the guy's dorm, as soon as Gu Wenqing walked in, Huang Zicheng was all over him. "Dude, you're back late. You were out with the senior, right? How'd it go? Lay off me for one day, will ya? Worry about your own game. You gotta level up to real boyfriend before you even think about getting with Li Wenhuan. Hey, low blow, man. Besides, Li Wenhuan and I are just friends right now." Huang Zicheng shot back. Gu Wenqing, acting like the experienced one, gave him some advice. "You're a wimp. Even a fake boyfriend gets boyfriend privileges. Don't be scared, start with holding hands." "Alright, I'll give it a shot. I'll try it next time," Huang Zicheng said, trying to sound confident. Just then, Huang Zicheng's iPhone rang. Seeing Li Wenhuan's name on the screen, Huang Zicheng's face lit up. He shot Gu Wenqing a smug look. "See? Wenhuan must be missing me." Grinning, Huang Zicheng answered the call. Li Wenhuan said, "What took you so long to pick up?" "Oh, I was just talking to Gu Wenqing, didn't hear it ring," Huang Zicheng said, trying to sound casual. Li Wenhuan said coldly, "Send me Gu Wenqing's WeChat contact." No questions asked. "Okay, sending it right now." After Huang Zicheng sent Gu Wenqing's contact to Li Wenhuan, he added, "Wenhuan, let's hang out after military training." He was going to try Gu Wenqing's hand-holding strategy, but it was clear it wasn't going to work. "We'll talk later." Li Wenhuan was only interested in getting Gu Wenqing's contact, so she hung up. Zhou Tao and Jing Xiaohong burst out laughing. "The truth hurts, man." Huang Zicheng sheepishly patted his head. "Wenhuan's just like that, I'm used to it." Later, after lights out in the dorm, Huang Zicheng tossed and turned, unable to sleep. He finally whispered, "Hey, Gu Wenqing, have you and the senior held hands yet?" Gu Wenqing snorted. "Dude, we've practically made out." Zhou Tao sighed enviously. "Damn, I always think you're full of crap." The dim moonlight stirred up the lonely hearts of the single guys, making it hard to settle down. After hesitating for a while, Zhou Tao asked, "Hey, Gu Wenqing, can you give me Mo Luo's WeChat contact?" Zhou Tao had a crush on Mo Luo, she was pretty and super nice. Zhou Tao just wanted to connect with her. Huang Zicheng didn't want to crush his roommate's dreams, so he said gently, "Mo Luo's a bit out of your league. You probably couldn't handle her." "Zhou Tao, I just want to try." Gu Wenqing said, "Fine, I just shared it with you." Huang Zicheng rolled his eyes. Didn't Zhou Tao get the hint? Mo Luo practically begged for Gu Wenqing's contact. She was obviously into him. Besides, Zhou Tao's family was nothing compared to Mo Luo's. It was never going to happen. Huang Zicheng sighed inwardly. "Guess Zhou Tao has to learn the hard way." Zhou Tao quickly added Mo Luo on WeChat. Scrolling through her feed, it was all about fitness and food. Mo Luo, decked out in tight workout clothes, made Zhou Tao sweat a little. Zhou Tao asked Mo Luo if she knew who he was. Mo Luo said she knew, and that she probably wouldn't have added Zhou Tao if he didn't live in the same dorm as Gu Wenqing. Zhou Tao, military training must be tough. Mo Luo, meh. Zhou Tao, remember to wear sunscreen so you don't get burned. Nervous smile. Mo Luo, okay, I'm going to rest. Zhou Tao, good night, sleep well. Wave, on the other side of town, at Shanghai Industrial and Commercial University. Back in the girls' dorm, after chatting with Zhou Tao, Mo Luo stared intently at the screenshot on her phone. Gu Wenqing's toned muscles made her want to lick the screen. She was a gym rat and often saw muscular guys, but none were as well proportioned and defined as Gu Wenqing. Mo Luo figured that Gu Wenqing would hit her up as soon as she added him, but she waited, and still no message. Finally, she decided to make the first move. She picked up her phone, but couldn't think of what to say. Usually, guys did all the initiating, and she just replied or didn't. Mo Luo racked her brain and sent a message, "Military training must be hard, right?" Smile. Gu Wenqing was busy checking out the pics his senior had sent, the ones with the stockings and the long legs. He gave a lazy reply, "Average." Mo Luo, "The sun is strong in summer, so remember to put on sunscreen." Nervous smile. Gu Wenqing, alright, I'm going to sleep. Mo Luo, get some rest, hard eyes. Gu Wenqing went back to chatting with the senior, Wang Yanran, my period's almost over. Shy, Gu Wenqing, hee, I've been waiting for this. We'll make up for lost time. Wang Yanran, you're such a pervert. I meant we can finally get hot pot. Silly smile, Gu Wenqing, you want a spanking? Wang Yanran, bring it on, I'm waiting, kiss, Gu Wenqing, hee, I'll definitely make you call me daddy in 2 days. The next day, the sun was high in the sky. Gu Wenqing noticed that Huang Zicheng looked pale and weak. He said, take care of yourself, and lay off the late-night homework. I wasn't doing anything. Zhou Tao pointed to Huang Zicheng's bedside, at a trash can overflowing with crumpled tissues. Then what's that about? Huang Zicheng argued, I have a cold. Zhou Tao looked skeptical. You get a cold in the summer. I have a fever and a cold, can't I? Gu Wenqing patted Huang Zicheng on the shoulder. Alright, whether you have a cold or not, you should still take care of yourself. Huang Zicheng wanted to cry, but no one would believe him. Seeing Zheng Xiaohong come in from washing up, he ran over to prove his innocence. Tell them it's normal to have a summer cold with a runny nose. Zheng Xiaohong didn't hesitate. No normal person gets a cold in the summer. Gu Wenqing and Zhou Tao burst out laughing. Later, after military training, Lin Yingying, the girl in the red dress, called Gu Wenqing on WeChat. Gu Wenqing, come out for dinner. You promised me, you can't back out. Lin Yingying's clear and cheerful voice came through the phone. Send me the location, and I'll be there soon. I'm already at the gate of your school, hurry up. Did you drive? Gu Wenqing asked. The clothes Lin Yingying had sent him weren't cheap, so she must come from a wealthy family. Plus, the Moda Conservatory of Music wasn't close to Moda University, so Gu Wenqing assumed she had a car. Okay, I'll be out in a sec. Lin Yingying was already at the school gate, so Gu Wenqing lazily changed and headed out, still in his military training uniform. Chapter 45 I#039, M drunk at the TAXX nightclub. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As Gu Wenqing left campus, Lin Yingying spotted her right away. Lin Yingying rolled down her car window and waved. Gu Wenqing, over here. Gu Wenqing eyed the Bentley Roadster. That kind of car cost a fortune, so her hunch was right. Lin Yingying was loaded. Gu Wenqing got in. Where are we grabbing dinner? Lin Yingying smiled. What are you in the mood for? Western or Chinese? Chinese, definitely. Gu Wenqing was sick of Western food lately. Lin Yingying gave directions, and the Bentley smoothly joined the traffic. Lin Yingying looked amazing in a sleek black dress, her legs sheathed in Balenciaga black nylons. A woman as rich and gorgeous as Lin Yingying never lacked for admirers at school. Lin Yingying, noticing Gu Wenqing's gaze while she drove, blushed slightly, pretending to be nonchalant as she focused on the road. Shangongfu restaurant was tucked away in Modu Bay National Forest. Running about $400 a person, first-timers were sure to get lost without guidance. The restaurant featured weeping willows, lake embankments, traditional gray brick walls, carved beams, and painted buildings, all showcasing classic Hui architecture. They said the Shuangwen mansion was over 400 years old. The upstairs hall, once a meeting place for elite families, featured an antique round platform carved with dragon designs from the Qianlong era, used as a dining table. The seating was even more special. Meditation couches from the Ming dynasty, plaques inscribed by the national teacher, carved wooden screens, Han pottery, and Jin porcelain all completed the ambience of Hui culture. The two ordered a feast: kaihua duck, boiled chicken, yellow shark's fin, steamed straw mushrooms, sesame kidney, fish roll and chicken soup, mushroom meat cake, steamed pot chicken, and peach blossom pan. The table filled with artfully prepared dishes, stunning to look at, not to mention taste. So, what do you think? Lin Yingying leaned closer to ask. Gu Wenqing caught a whiff of her perfume. It's great. Looks and smells amazing. I love it. Lin Yingying giggled. Good, I was worried you wouldn't like it. Just looking at you is appetizing enough. Lin Yingying was stunning, with a top-tier face and figure. Her unique personality shined through, too. Even though she was from Shanghai, she had the feisty spark of a girl from Sichuan or Chongqing. At the barbecue place, if Gu Wenqing hadn't been there, Lin Yingying would have jumped to her defense, and Lin Yingying's outfit today was exactly Gu Wenqing's type. He loved seeing beautiful women in black nylons, as the saying goes, if you want to appreciate a beautiful woman, start with her thighs. Lin Yingying's legs were just as fantastic. Lin Yingying blushed even more. She dressed to impress Gu Wenqing, after all. Feeling Gu Wenqing's gaze made her heart flutter. The two wrapped up their meal in a haze of laughter and conversation. On the way back, Lin Yingying drove, planning to take Gu Wenqing back to school, but then she got a call from a friend, heartbroken and alone at a bar, too drunk to take care of herself. She asked Lin Yingying to pick her up. Before she could even hang up, a guy's voice came from the other end. "Hey there, beautiful." "All alone?" Worried about her friend's safety, Lin Yingying said, "Could you check on my friend at the bar? She's really drunk and not doing too well." Gu Wenqing chimed in, promising it was no problem. "Let me drive," Gu Wenqing offered. "Your friend's in a bad way, and I'm a pretty good driver." Lin Yingying nodded, pulling over and swapping seats with Gu Wenqing. Her friend was at the TAXX bar. Gu Wenqing input the address into the GPS, and reminded Lin Yingying, "Hold on tight." Gu Wenqing hadn't used his one-handed super run skill since he got it, but now that he had, his driving rivaled that of a professional racer. "Buckle up." With a roar and a violent shove, the car shot forward like a lightning bolt. In seconds, the speedometer hit 120 miles per hour and kept climbing. Gu Wenqing maintained the speed, weaving through traffic as if threading a needle. The GPS said it was a 40-minute drive, but Gu Wenqing made it in 20. It was definitely a fast ride, especially when he gunned the engine to overtake, scaring Lin Yingying half to death. After Gu Wenqing parked, he asked, "You okay?" But nothing bad happened. Lin Yingying, cheeks flushed, was buzzing with excitement. That was awesome. So exhilarating. She was usually a good girl, but she had a wild streak. The impromptu race had given her an unbelievable rush. Lin Yingying couldn't help herself. She kissed Gu Wenqing on the lips. Gu Wenqing wrapped his arms around her. TAXX was Shanghai's hottest nightclub. Every night, the street was crammed with luxury cars. The place was massive, holding up to 3,000 people. Right inside the door was a wall covered in aces of spades logos. The vibe was industrial and edgy, with a state-of-the-art sound system, 4D holographic projections, a 40-foot bar, and a mix of EDM festivals, underground clubs, and indoor concerts. The city's richest kids loved TAXX. It was the perfect place to let loose and forget the day's troubles. Gu Wenqing and the blushing Lin Yingying walked in. The flashing corridor was blinding, and the pounding music grew louder with every step. The walls were covered in aces of spades, creating a vibe of over-the-top wealth. Couples were all over the place. Gu Wenqing and Lin Yingying turned heads as they walked in. Good-looking people were always popular in nightclubs. Gu Wenqing's clean-cut hair and handsome face, framed by the flashing lights, gave him an even more charming vibe, attracting winks from girls left and right. His camouflage outfit only added to his youthful, masculine energy, creating a unique contrast. He stood out from everyone else at the club. Gu Wenqing waved off the marketing girl who approached, explaining that he was looking for someone. Lin Yingying and Gu Wenqing scanned the crowd together. Over on a VIP couch, Wang Min was wearing a low-cut black tank top. It barely covered anything. She had a small waist, her lower body was a pair of shorts, and her long legs were wrapped in stockings. She topped it off with a pair of black boots. She was dressed for a wild night out. Chapter 46. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Min was seriously bummed out. Her boyfriend of 3 years cheated on her, and the other woman was, frankly, a downgrade. She wanted to ask him why he was such an idiot. If he was going to cheat, couldn't he at least find someone hotter? I mean, seriously. A scrub like that? It was just insulting. Her boyfriend's only excuse was, "It's been 3 years, Wang Min. 3 freaking years, and all you ever let me do was hold your hand. I never even got to kiss you, but this other girl. She gave it up on the first date. Wang Min was floored. Was it wrong for a woman to have standards? Screw love. Seriously, screw it, she must have been blind to fall for such a loser. Heartbroken and pissed off, Wang Min went to a nightclub alone to drown her sorrows. After who knows how many drinks, she started feeling woozy and, with what little sense she had left, called her friend Lin Yingying to come get her. Nightclubs were a mixed bag, and she didn't want anything bad to happen, but of course, something did. 3 guys at a nearby table had been ogling Wang Min ever since she walked in. She was good-looking, dressed to kill, and flying solo, prime prey for nightclub wolves. Just as Wang Min hung up with Lin Yingying, one of the 3, a guy who clearly thought he was God's gift, swaggered over to hit on her. "Hey there, beautiful." All alone, Wang Min completely ignored him, just kept on drinking. The guy didn't seem fazed. You can't let a little rejection get you down at a nightclub, right? Besides, Wang Min was way too hot to just give up on. He pulled up a chair close by and watched her pound down the drinks. A creepy little smile crept across his face. "Keep them coming, sweetheart. Get drunk, and my buddies and I will take care of you." He waited about 20 minutes. Wang Min was obviously getting hammered. He was about to signal his buddies to come over and help him haul her off when a new couple walked in. The guys checked out the woman with the red hair and, fueled by alcohol, nearly drooled. Damn, she was smoking hot and stacked too. They shot envious glances at the guy she was with, wishing they could score a girl like that. The woman led her friend straight toward Wang Min's booth. Lin Yingying frowned and asked, "Who are you guys? What do you think you're doing sitting here with my friend?" The 3 guys realized the drunk girl's friend had arrived, but they weren't about to give up that easily. They practically had her ready to go home with them. The 3 of them, already drunk and loud, started yelling. "Who says she's your friend? Got any proof? We're her boyfriends." "Yeah, that's right," the 3 of them snickered. The tallest one pointed at Gu Wenqing and said, "Hey, buddy, you better keep a better eye on your girl. If you can't handle her, my friends and I would be happy to give you a hand." The other 2 guys chimed in, their eyes full of lust. "Yeah, we love helping out. And that little redhead? She's got me all worked up." Lin Yingying scoffed, "You're just a bunch of lowlife creeps. You think you're good enough to be friends with Wang Min? I've known her forever. I have no idea what friends she has." Gu Wenqing didn't waste any time either. He raised his eyebrows and stepped in. Seeing this, the 3 guys went ballistic. "Get lost. Don't you touch her. She's ours tonight. Try and move her, and see what happens." Gu Wenqing just smirked. "Oh, I'll try." He bent down, scooped up the completely wasted Wang Min in his arms, and carried her. His sharp eyes swept across the 3 lustful men. They were just a bunch of scrawny punks, softened by alcohol. Gu Wenqing could take them all down in a matter of seconds. The atmosphere was tense. Gu Wenqing faced the 3 of them head-on, radiating an aggressive air that actually made them back down a little. "All right, pal, you're tough. You can take her if you want. But she drank a lot of our booze, so we gotta get paid, right?" the tattooed guy said, making it up as he went along. Hey, the girl was totally out of it. They could say they bought all the drinks. "Yeah, this stuff ain't cheap. We're talking 10 grand, easy. You just pay up, and we'll let you go." Another guy echoed. They exchanged knowing glances. They figured, okay, they lost the girl, but 10 grand would get them a sweet massage and a good time. Not a bad consolation prize. Gu Wenqing didn't go to nightclubs often, but even he knew the cheap booze on that table didn't come close to costing 10,000, and these guys were trying to shake them down. "No problem. 10,000 it is," Lin Yingying said, pulling out her card. 10 grand wasn't a huge deal, and she figured it was better to just pay and leave. Mostly, she was worried about Gu Wenqing getting into a fight. He had his arms full of Wang Min and might not be able to handle the 3 goons. The 3 guys grinned and rattled off a bank account number, but Gu Wenqing frowned. "Yingying, hold on. I'll handle this." Gu Wenqing sneered. "How about I give you $1 million? Will that cover it?" that the three guys were stunned. This kid was out of his mind. Who tried to give away more money? They went from wanting 10 grand to 1 million. Gu Wenqing didn't wait for them to reply, he motioned to a nearby server, who rushed over immediately. What's the most expensive bottle you've got? That the server blushed and batted her eyelashes at the handsome man in front of her. That would be a set of Ace of Spades 5-color dragons. They go for $78,888 a set. Gu Wenqing didn't hesitate. Bring me 20 sets. Now. 20 sets. The server stammered in disbelief, was the music too loud? Had she heard him right? She repeated herself, carefully enunciating each word. Sir, are you sure you said 20 sets? That's right, that the server's face lit up. Did she just hear what she thought she heard? This hottie just ordered 20 sets of the 5-color dragons, as the most expensive and extravagant package on the menu. Each set cost a whopping $78,888. 20 sets would cost a cool $1,577,760. She'd make like $15,000 off the tip alone, more than she made in a year. Usually, when someone ordered even one set of the 5-color dragons, it caused a scene. And this guy in the camo uniform was ordering 20 sets at once. TAXX was going to explode tonight. The server practically sprinted to the front desk to grab the POS machine. The three tattooed guys frowned. Weren't they supposed to be getting $1 million? What was with this 20 sets of 5-color dragons thing? Chapter 47. You are listening at novelfull.audio. They didn't think much of it, but my heart started racing. If he could drop that kind of cash on 20 sets of those dragon things, Gu Wenqing had to be loaded. Which meant he could actually pay them the 100 million he promised, right? I just hit the jackpot meeting this guy. The tall dude waved his hand. Alright, as long as you pay up the 100 mil for the booze tonight, we won't give you any trouble. And then. Lin Yingying didn't know why Gu Wenqing was doing all this, but she wasn't thinking about that. She just needed to get her hands on some more cash. One of those 5-color dragon sets cost $78,888, 20 of them comes out to a whopping $1,577,760. Over 150 mil, and she only had a little over 100 million in her account. She was still 50 short. She bolted out of the club to call a girlfriend and beg her for a 50-spot loan. The three tattooed goons didn't even flinch when Lin Yingying ran out. As long as they had that drunk chick Gu Wenqing was holding, the dude wasn't going anywhere. Lin Yingying's bestie, being loaded herself, happily wired her the 50 she needed. After grabbing the cash, Lin Yingying came hustling back. After $150 million spend, there was no way they would let him stay in a regular seat. The club staff immediately shuffled Gu Wenqing and his crew to a booth in the A1 section. The marketing girl followed them over with a portable card reader. Lin Yingying was about to grab her card. I ordered the wine, so I'll pay. Gu Wenqing, still holding on to Wang Min with one arm, pulled out a card and swiped it. A receipt printed out, showing a charge of $1,577,760. The marketing girl stared at the receipt like she was dreaming. She'd suddenly become a top seller, moving millions of dollars worth of drinks in a single night. The three tattooed dudes were speechless. Holy crap. He actually just swiped over 150 mil. This guy must be rolling if he's actually gonna pay them the 100 they had asked for. Yo, we're gonna get 100 mil. That's like 30 apiece. I'm already hyped just thinking about it. With 100 mil, we can get as many women as we want. The three of them were practically buzzing as they whispered to each other. After the card went through, the marketing girl didn't waste a second, speaking into her radio. A1 booth, order confirmed, 20 of the dragon packages. Get M over here ASAP. After she finished, she turned back to ask Gu Wenqing his last name. Gu Wenqing just said, Gu. In nightclubs, money talks, and the rich get whatever they want. Less than a minute after the card swipe, the special music announcing the arrival of the dragon package boomed through the club. The music was earth-shattering, and the lights flashed in every color of the rainbow, immediately electrifying the entire place. Whoa! Everyone from the VIP areas to the people on the dance floor, and the random girls who just wanted to have some fun, exclaimed in unison. Some big shots had ordered the 5-color dragon package before. Everyone thought, a set of 5-color dragons cost 78888, that's so awesome. A troupe of dancers dressed as maids, with legs clad in black silk, came out holding lighted boards, stepping in time with the music, and the boards themselves shone with a myriad of colors. Behind them stretched a long line of girls holding up different colored aces of spades. At that moment, everyone in the club was mesmerized. This was how the rich flaunted their wealth, and it was a real spectacle. The long line of people came to booth A1, where 2 tall, burly security guards stood on either side. Their job was to keep the gold diggers away. Only when the VIP gave the nod would security allow anyone into the booth. Then came the dance crew in black and white maid outfits, twerking around the edge of the VIP area. The 5 girls respectfully placed a set of the 5-color dragon packages on the table. Then even more explosive music blasted from the DJ booth. At the peak of the song, the DJ shouted into his mic. "Welcome to Mr. Gu from booth A1, who bought 20 sets of the 5-color dragon packages tonight. Welcome to Mr. Gu from booth A1, who bought 20 sets of the 5-color dragon packages tonight. Welcome to Mr. Gu from booth A1, who bought 20 sets of the 5-color dragon packages tonight." That the DJ's voice echoed throughout the club. Wow! The whole nightclub went wild. Countless girls rushed towards booth A1, eager to get a look at Mr. Gu and, more importantly, get a piece of his wealth. Everyone out on the floor was moving to the music. Everything felt electric. The servers made round after round of deliveries, the dancers held up the lighted boards, and behind them, the girls proudly brandished their aces of spades. 150 million spent in one night. Who wouldn't be shocked? Back in booth A1, Gu Wenqing sat calmly, and the drunk Wang Min was slumped in a corner. He ignored the growing crowd of both guys and girls that swarmed him. Gu Wenqing slipped 5,000 yuan to each of the security guards. Then he told them, in a cold tone. "I used this wine to pay off these 3 idiots. I'm paying you to make sure they keep drinking it. From now until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, they're drinking non-stop. As long as nobody dies, I want them passed out drunk. If they try to stop, beat them. As long as you don't kill them, I'll take the fall. Save the rest for me. I'll drink it when I get back." That the 2 hulking guards nodded like crazy, promising to do exactly as he said. This was the guy who just dropped 150 million in a single night. They weren't about to cross him. Plus, he was taking care of them with a $5,000 tip, which was almost their whole monthly salary. They were going to make sure his business was taken care of. Thinking that, they went over to the 3 tattooed dudes, who were still standing there, dumbfounded. They smacked one of them upside the head. "Drink up, you jerk. It's an honor for someone like Mr. Gu to be buying you aces of spades." The 3 tattooed guys were terrified in the face of these massive security guards. They were just street thugs with no connections, easily controlled by anyone with a bit of muscle. "I drank the wine. It's better to just pay you back." Gu Wenqing said flatly, "You all heard what I said, whoever doesn't drink is gonna get beat." To the 3 of them, Gu Wenqing's voice sounded like the devil himself. They had never seen anything like this before. At first, all they wanted to do was take a drunk chick. Then, they hoped to blackmail 100 grand, then, they figured they'd be splitting 100 mil, but instead, the other guy just spent more than 150 million in dragon package booze. They weren't about to mess with a guy that rich. They had no choice but to gulp down the wine. The expensive ace of spades that they had been so envious of now felt like a death sentence. How were they supposed to stay conscious for the next 8 or 9 hours? For a moment they were heartbroken, full of regret. Chapter 48. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Gu Wenqing believes in treating people how they treat you. He hugged Wang Min and left TAXX with Lin Yingying, not even glancing back. Even though the guy who ordered the $150 million worth of drinks was gone, the nightclub was still buzzing about him. Damn! That was so cool. Freaking awesome, ordering that much expensive booze just to get back at those 3 dudes and make them drink till dawn. Is this what a true baller does? If you don't like something, you just throw $150 million at it. That kinda cash is pocket change to someone like him. I'm jealous. When am I gonna be able to live that large? Dude, in your dreams. The guys were all impressed by Gu Wenqing's moves, proving money really can buy you anything, and the girls were still going wild. Hot. He's freaking hot. Turns out you can slap someone in the face with money. For a baller, money is just a number. That handsome dude is a total boss. $150 million just to diss 3 idiots. The rich really live on another level, a lot of people were thinking, if I had $150 million. I'd buy a Porsche Panamera outright, or put a down payment on a condo in the city. From that night on, the legend of Mr. Gu started spreading around TAXX nightclub. $150 million blowout, he bought out the bar just to make his enemies puke. $150 million worth of booze. I'd rather feed it to the dogs. The two of them left the nightclub. Gu Wenqing asked if he should take Wang Min to a hotel or home. Lin Yingying suggested just getting a hotel room. Gu Wenqing checked his watch, saw it was super late, and he couldn't go back to campus, so he booked 2 rooms right by the nightclub. They took Wang Min, who was hammered, to her room and left. Gu Wenqing walked Lin Yingying to the parking lot. Since she had to head home, Lin Yingying asked, "Was it worth spending that much money?" Gu Wenqing just smiled. The new title he'd unlocked was definitely worth it. I wanted to treat you to a meal, but then all this happened. Not only did it keep you from going back to school, but it also cost you $150 million. Lin Yingying sounded a little embarrassed. Give me your bank info, and I'll transfer $150 million to you. You were trying to help Wang Min, so you can't be stuck with the bill. Gu Wenqing shook his head. No way. I was just fronting. I can't let you pay. Besides, I'm not hurting for cash. Lin Yingying sighed and gave in. Okay, well, if you ever need money, just tell me. I'll spot you. Oh, and I took a cab home. You can give me a ride to school tomorrow. Lin Yingying tossed Gu Wenqing the keys to her Bentley, and before he could say anything, she hopped in a cab and left. She'd rather take a cab than let him not have a ride. Gu Wenqing shook his head. Lin Yingying was a true friend. Gu Wenqing took the elevator to room 602, after showering. He wanted to text his girl and catch up, only to realize his phone was gone. He must have dropped it on Wang Min's bed when he was helping her back to her room. Ah, crap, that modern life means you can't sleep without your phone. Gu Wenqing braced himself and headed back out, hoping Wang Min was coherent enough to answer the door so he could grab his phone. Wang Min's room was next door, 601. Gu Wenqing knocked and waited quietly for a while. Just as he was about to give up and go back to his room, the door opened. Then, Gu Wenqing's mouth was covered. Gotta say, Wang Min was dressed to kill. Black tank top showing off her collarbones and back, tight short skirt, and long legs wrapped in Balenciaga. The outfit definitely caught Gu Wenqing's eye. Wang Min was stunning, and she was rocking Gu Wenqing's favorite stockings. The skimpy black tank top barely covered anything. Gu Wenqing wasn't about to say no. Drunk as she was, Wang Min had regained some awareness. Completely disillusioned with love, all she wanted was to let loose. She wanted revenge on that loser ex. You couldn't have me for 3 years. I'll let someone else have me in 1 day. Thinking about it, she didn't feel as bad as before. With blurry eyes, she looked at Gu Wenqing. Super hot. Ridiculously hot. Touching him, she realized he was all muscle, ripped abs, and a killer physique. He was like a dream come true. Losing her virginity to him? No loss. Gu Wenqing picked Wang Min up and carried her into the room. It's my first time. Wang Min whispered in Gu Wenqing's ear, her breath hot. Hearing her soft voice, Gu Wenqing paused slightly, then, without hesitation, he went into the room. Chapter 49 Unlocking Titles Continuously. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The moonlight was amazing. It had been a while. Gu Wenqing checked his system, *****, congratulations. You've unlocked the lowdown title, reward, Shanghai's hottest nightclub, TAXX. Reward, $10 billion cash. All rewards will be delivered discreetly. Enjoy. This was the reward for slapping those 3 tattooed guys with cash at the club. As of today, TAXX, Shanghai's most famous nightclub, belonged to Gu Wenqing. Oh, and he also got $10 billion, Gu Wenqing grinned. For this alone, the $150 million he dropped last night was a steal. The system kept spitting out rewards. Gu Wenqing kept digging through the system, *ding, star, congrats. You've unlocked the first time on the battlefield title. Reward skill, favorability scan. Favorability scan, detects the favorability levels of women around you. Bonus skill, Iron Willy. Iron Willy, greatly enhances certain male attributes. Gu Wenqing tested it out. 85 favorability, no wonder girls fall so hard, so fast. Wang Min had already forgotten about the jerk who cheated on her for 3 years. She was totally focused on Gu Wenqing. Gu Wenqing was starting to get it. When he saw Iron Willy, even Gu Wenqing couldn't hide his surprise. He kept a straight face, but inside he was exploding. This system was incredible. It was the skill every guy dreams of. The Iron Willy upgrade took Gu Wenqing's game to a whole new level. Gu Wenqing was itching to try out this new skill. He checked the time, 7 a.m. He had military training at 8 o'clock. Suddenly, Wang Min's stomach let out a loud growl. She blushed and hid her face in the covers. Hungry? Let me order some food. Gu Wenqing grabbed the room service menu and ordered a ton of stuff, chicken and mushroom stew, pork knuckle soup, all the good stuff. They hadn't known each other long. But he was Wang Min's first real boyfriend. And now that he had her heart, body, and soul, he needed to treat her right. Time to fatten her up. I really like you. Wang Min snuggled against him, stretched lazily, and playfully tapped him on the nose. Your name is Gu Wenqing. She whispered his name. Just yesterday, she was heartbroken and wanted to disappear. She almost drank herself into oblivion, ready to take another look at her cheating best girlfriend Lin Yingying. That she has no regrets, but after meeting Gu Wenqing, she felt alive again. So what if she ran into a loser? Now she had Gu Wenqing, who was way hotter and taller. How did you know that? That he was curious. He never told her his name. She was passed out drunk last night. How did she know? Wang Min blinked. Even though I was drunk, I was still a little aware. I remember some stuff from the nightclub. You were so badass and hot. I was totally mesmerized. Gu Wenqing smiled, listening quietly. Her brown hair was spread across her collarbones and back. Her eyes, eyebrows, and lips were angelic. She was a classic beauty. If she ever played a role like Little Dragon Girl, or Su Daji, she'd be a sensation, and now this woman was all his. Gu Wenqing smirked. Thank you to that cheating dude, for leaving this amazing woman for yours truly. A few minutes later, the doorbell rang. Gu Wenqing had plenty of cash, so he booked the $8,888 a night presidential suite. The waiter wheeled in the room service and set it up in the living room. He took a bath with her. Gu Wenqing emerged, feeling refreshed. Wang Min was reapplying her lipstick in front of the mirror. They sat down at the table. So, where are you going to school? That she replied. My grades weren't great, so I went to college for hotel management. Gu Wenqing said as he ate, that's a good field to be in. Nah. After graduation, you basically end up as a hotel waiter, delivery person, etc. Pretty much guarantees unemployment. Gu Wenqing said casually, says who? I'm here. If you can't find work, you can be a lobby manager at one of my places. High pay, easy work. Oh, honey, you own a place. Yeah, a bunch of different stuff. Wang Min giggled, skeptical. Yeah, right. Gu Wenqing grinned. I'll show you sometime. He asked, by the way, are you from Shanghai? She looked down. My parents hate each other. They're divorced and remarried. I don't really have anywhere to go. I usually stay at my grandma's. Her parents split when she was a kid. Since she was a girl, neither of them wanted custody, so her grandma raised her. Gu Wenqing frowned. Let it go. You've got me now. Whatever happens, I'll always have your back. Tears welled up in her eyes. You're so sweet. I'll always love you. Relieved, Wang Min started to cry. She was abandoned as a child, and had always wanted a complete family. Because of her messed up childhood, she was always suspicious of people, even her boyfriend of 3 years. She never truly let him in. Now she was dropping her defenses and opening up to Gu Wenqing, whom she'd only known for a day. Fate was a crazy thing. Gu Wenqing realized he hadn't called home in a while, so he called his parents. When the system gave him that $100 billion, he told them he won the lottery and left a few $100,000 for his family. After catching up with his parents, he hung up. Gu Wenqing was eating and enjoying their time together. Chapter 50. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Gu Wenqing, seeing Wang Min lost in thought, gently stroked her hair. Why don't you stay at the hotel for a couple of days? Once military training is over, we can check out some apartments together and buy one if we find something we like. Buy a place? Shanghai real estate is crazy expensive. We're already going to be stretched with student loan payments. Wang Min frowned. She really wanted their own little place, but she didn't want Gu Wenqing burdened with a mortgage. Even if he seemed to have money, he was still a student, and that money came from his family. An apartment in Shanghai could easily cost millions. There was no way his family would just hand over that kind of cash. Gu Wenqing had been thinking about buying an apartment for a while, and wanted to start looking. But between military training and other stuff, it kept getting put off. His hometown was Hefei, Anhui, 1,000 miles away from Shanghai. Sooner or later, he was going to make Shanghai his home. Might as well buy something sooner rather than later, and if he didn't like it, he could always upgrade. Money wasn't an issue. He liked his roommates well enough, but why hang out with a bunch of dudes when he could be with beautiful women? Don't sweat it, babe, he said, smiling. Your man's got this. No mortgage. I'm paying cash. Thought it was good to have money. It solved a whole lot of problems. You're amazing, honey. Wang Min gazed at him adoringly, her heart racing. He was so good-looking. Gu Wenqing couldn't give her exclusive love, but he would do his best to give them, the best of everything. His net worth was over $20 billion now, with over $10 billion in cash and the rest in stocks, real estate, and whatever else. In Shanghai, he was basically untouchable. Plus, he was just getting started. He could unlock new perks through the system and get even more rewards. Money was just a number to him now. He just wanted to live life on his own terms. Whether it came to love or career, there would be plenty more women in his future. If things got complicated, he could always move. Wasn't that how it always went in those urban novels? Maybe he'd give it a shot. With a reluctant look, Wang Min watched him leave. Military training called. Shanghai's morning rush hour was brutal. Gu Wenqing weaved through traffic in his Bentley, putting his supercar handling skill to the test. He did not want to run laps for being late. He sped along and finally made it to the training field just in time. He hurried over to his class's formation. His 3 goofy roommates greeted him. Zhou Tao grinned. Dude. You're crazy, Gu. Sneaking out the night before training ends. You're not worried about getting punished? Gu Wenqing smiled. Nah, not when I've got you guys covering for me. Jing Xiaohong yelled. Damn right you're not. Don't forget to give me a good rubdown later. Huang Zicheng chimed in. Don't leave me out, Uncle Huang. Gu Wenqing playfully punched him in the chest. Watch your mouth, punk. Show some respect for your elders. You're the punk. Hey, I'm not like you guys anymore. Gu Wenqing said mysteriously. Huang Zicheng, Zhou Tao, and Jing Xiaohong stared at him in shock, remembering he hadn't come back all night.